week. I'm Whitney, our Customer Success Manager at Nutshell, streaming live from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I am pleased to welcome our co-host, Dan Moshe from Minneapolis, who will be running the live demo portions of our Hangout. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for having me.
If you're waiting to join the Hangout earlier, you probably saw the list of our previous Hangout recordings. We've covered a lot of topics up to this point, including how to create a sales process, all the way through setting up Google integrations. And throughout that time, a lot of questions have come up about best practices for entering and organizing customer information into Nutshell. So today we want to cover our Wufoo integrations with you and all of our other available features to create new leads, manage your contacts, and customize Nutshell to help organize your data in a way that gives you the most actionable information. So if you have any questions as we go through the session, we'll pause here to take some live, as well as we have two of our amazing support team members on the live chat, which is to the right of your screen, that will be answering your questions as we go. So, all right, Dan, let's get started.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much. I'm going to get my screen shared here. And of course, we have all seen one of these on almost every website we visit, a web form. So what I'm going to show you how to do today is get the leads and submissions from these web forms to flow directly into Nutshell using my most favoritist web forms tool called Wufu. So without further ado, let's get started. Behind the scenes of this fancy, beautifully formatted web form is something like this. And unformatted, it's the same thing. So what I'm going to do is show you how when I submit this form, starting again with the end in mind, test company 4, what happens and how I've connected it within Nutshell. So I'm just going to quickly fill out this form, and you'll see, like here in the comments box, even address, where everything goes within Nutshell. So let's see what happens. I'll also show you a little bit later how you can customize what happens on submit. So I'm going to swing over to Nutshell and show you what happened with that submission. So almost instantaneously, we have a new company, a new person, Dan Moshe, and a new lead. And you'll see that the comments were added as a note to the lead. And believe it or not, you can do this too. And you'll be able to do it after I show you how to do it in a couple minutes, writing zero code, no lines of code. You can do this. So here, let's take a look at what the person looks like. You'll see that automatically the address that I put into the form is added here. The email address is added here. And because I used a bogus email, none of the social media accounts were identified, but if I put a real email address, all of the social media accounts would be listed here as well. You'll see that this person is associated with test company 4, and that with test company 4 is a new lead that was also automatically created, lead number 1659. And here within the lead, we can see how this lead was created, when it was created, came in through Wufu, and there's even some magic happening here with a tag automatically created. I'm going to show you how to do this, and also a source added. And as I mentioned, the note is added here. So I hope I've piqued your interest. Now I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to switch gears over to Wufu now, and I'm going to create a new form. You do need a Wufu account. I will mention that there is a free edition of Wufu that limits you to I think only 3 forms, but I use the $30 a month Wufu plan because I love Wufu and use it for a lot of other things as well. So here I am in Wufu, going to name my form contact form. I mentioned previously that you're in control of what happens to your users when they hit submit. In this case, I'm going to leave it in the default configuration, which just shows the following. Great, thanks for filling out my form. But you could always redirect your users to another page on your website, like a thank you page or pay a download page or anything like that. Going back to the form, you're encouraged to use all of the fancy pants fields such as name, address, email. Look how easy it is to drag these around and move them around as well if you want to reorder them, as well as phone. You can also make fields required or not required by selecting the field and choosing required. A good rule of thumb with forms is to not add any fields that you wouldn't consider required fields. So once again, I also want to add a paragraph text field, which is any comments or questions. And I can also add any other fields that I might have in Nutshell that are custom fields. And the important thing about accessing custom fields is that the field name needs to match Nutshell exactly. I can't quite remember how that birthday field was set up, or if it was birthday or birth date. So I'm going to take a quick look back at a people page and just confirm how is birthday listed as a custom field. And here it is, down on the bottom right, just listed as birthday. So now I can come here and enter that. Now, save my form, and the next thing to do is connect it to Nutshell. So that's where I use the notifications function of Wufoo, and I'm going to use this to another application, in which case I'm going to connect it using a webhook. So this is a little bit technical, but this is the most complicated it really gets. We have to go into Nutshell and grab this special URL and copy and paste it in. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Swing back over to Nutshell. Within Setup, grab my API keys under Third Party. And by the way, there's a great article on this exact topic within the Nutshell knowledge base, so you can always grab and read that. I'm going to call this Wufoo 2, and you can see form submissions in Wufoo is already selected. Click New API Key, and then all I need to do is copy this address and paste it in here. I'm back in Wufoo now. So check off this include field and form data and hit save. Now it's time to give it a try. Let's see if it works. So back in the forms, I can view my form. All right, I'm going to do something unique here. So we're going to do Donald Duck. Haha, you thought I was going to do Donald Trump, but I didn't. I did Donald Duck. Duck at Disney.com. I'll just use that same address. And this is our questions field, so we can see where that goes. We'll put in Donald's birthday as well. All right, hit submit. And that looks like that worked. So let's swing over to Nutshell and see if it popped in here. And okay, excellent. So here we have a new, once again, person, company, and lead created. So let's take a look and see how everything worked out. So here we have the person, Donald Duck. The address came through, no problem. Birthday came through, more or less. That doesn't look quite right, 010101. Maybe you have to come back and play with that. The phone number came through, the email address came through. Perfect. So let's take a look at companies. Wait a second, there were no companies here. So what I would do if I wanted to have a company name associated with Donald Duck is I would add a field name like I did in the other form. I had company name. I would put that company name field in my contact form. So that's where we can test and iterate a little bit. So I'm going to add a new field, single line text, shows up at the bottom, company name. And so now Nutshell will automatically create a company name as well, and I'll hit save. All right, let's swing back over to Nutshell and take a look at how the lead got created. I can see that lead 1660 was created for Donald Duck today by Wufu, and no additional information than that. Before I show you how to add tags through Wufu, Whitney, we've covered a lot already. Are there any questions that you'd like me to address with on screen here?
Hi, Dan. Yeah, there was one question from Guy T asking if it's possible to dynamically pass the browser refer information via Wufoo in Nutshell. And I think that the answer here is going to be covered when you cover hiding custom fields and tags.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that perfect transition over to what we're going to cover next, which is hidden fields. So within Wufu, and we can add special fields that don't show up on the form, and they're called hidden fields. So I'm going to add one now, and I'm going to add a single line text. And in this case, we're going to use tags, but you could also do sources as well. So what I do to make this be magically hidden is a CSS layout keyword, and you probably could guess it, hide. And then what I do is predefine the value in this field as one of the tags that I have within Nutshell. So let me go take a look and see what tags I have set up in Nutshell. I'll go to Setup, Tags, and I want to tag the person as leads, perfect. I want to tag as a website tag for the lead. So I'm going to come back into Nutshell and type in website. So this website tag is automatically going to be added to the lead once it's submitted. And I'll show you what it looks like from the web view. You'll see as I scroll down, that tags lead is not set. So I'm going to quickly make another submission here, and I'm going to just skip a bunch of stuff. And just so I can show you how that tag comes through. So I just added Roger. Hold on, is Roger Rabbit Disney? I'm not sure. Either way, Roger Rabbit, we can take a look at that. And here we can see the tag has been added, website, for this lead, for Roger Rabbit lead. And we don't have enough time to get into it, but you can have all kinds of custom information be sent through these hidden fields within Nutshell and within Wufu. And what you can do is you can access all of those hidden fields using, I think it's share, and you can do API information. And so you can use this and read up about Wufu, how to use this, and you can grab all kinds of information programmatically and pass it right into Nutshell. So I think that's all I wanted to show you on Wufu. Any other questions on this before we proceed?
I don't think we have any more questions on Wufu for now, Dan. Looks like everyone understands what's happening.
Okay, awesome. Anyway, it's super slick, and there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with it. Just note that checkboxes and drop downs and multiple choice generally don't pass through to Nutshell. And then also, if you're ever having any problems with this integration, you can go back over to notifications, and if there's an error, and I can actually show you what that would look like, because as we were testing the previous one, if there is any kind of error communicating to Nutshell, there's a red, oh, now it doesn't show up. Oh, here we go, error log. Error log that shows you that, oh, something wasn't quite right. There's a missing field or something like that. So now that you've got all of this awesome contact data into Nutshell, I'd like to show you how to set up your database a little bit to be completely customized for the way that your organization works. And the way that I think it's really helpful to think about this is starting with the end in mind. Think about, well, once we have all of this great contact information in a nutshell, what do we want to do with it? What questions do we want to answer? So a perfect question you might want to answer is, who should we send the holiday greeting cards to? Or who is a member of a certain level in our certain tier of our service offering? So what we're going to do now is show you how to customize the people pages, the company pages, and the lead pages using tags, custom fields, and a couple of other fields as well. So let's take a look at people first. Here we have Adam, and the fields that you can customize are tags and custom fields that show up on the bottom right. And in this case, we have birthday and county. So tags are super helpful because you can have multiple tags, or you can have any combination of tags, any order of tags, and you can add and remove tags in mass and bulk from people, companies, and leads. So let's swing behind the curtain here to setup, and I'll show you how to manage tags. Of course, you could click on Manage Tags here as well. I'll show you the other way to do it. So under Setup, under Organization, we have Tags, and we're going to start with person tags. And adding a person tag is as easy as clicking Add Tag, and then here we're going to use birthday, or we'll call it holiday card. So these are all the folks that, for example, I would want to receive our holiday card. So click on people, and here I can select multiple people and edit on the bottom, and I can add tags right here, and add the holiday tag and apply changes. But no, you cannot go back, cannot undo this. A couple of cool things about tags as well is actually right within the tags listing, within setup, you can see how many people have this given tag. So I added holiday card to 4 people, and by clicking report, I can see all 4 of those people with that tag. And of course, it would normally would show up here. So you can also filter by tags right here. Hit add filter, tags, and let's say, who needs TLC? This is really cool, any or all. So I can say I want to know a list of people that need TLC or are on ice. Or if I hit all, the filter is going to show me people that need TLC and are on ice. So we're going to hit search here, and gratefully nobody's showing up with that. But let's take a look at our Gold Star clients now. Once again, tags, Gold Star, and here we can see all of our Gold Star clients. So we've customized the tags field. Now let's take a look at custom fields. So custom fields are really handy if you have a previous database, maybe that you're migrating from and there's other data you're collecting. But you can also add as many custom fields as you want. So under Setup, Custom Fields, and scroll down to Person Custom Fields. Let's add a new custom field. So there's a couple different types of custom fields you can choose from: text, paragraph text, date, currency. Now this is like not a dollar amount, it's a current type of currency. And then decision is either multiple choice or a drop down. So one example would be, let's say phone platform. So is he on, and he or she on an Android or an iPhone or both? So I'm going to do Android or Apple or Microsoft. And then we're going to allow multiple choice here so that we can select more than one if this person happens to be using a tablet with Android and an Apple phone. So let's take a look what that looks like. Under people, take a look at Armando and scroll down to the bottom right. And here we can have multiple options selected. This person is Android and Apple. And you guessed it, within the people module, you can filter and search by your custom fields as well. So I'm going to pause this for a second. Any questions we want to share or talk about?
No questions on people custom tags right now, Dan. One thing I did want to mention too is when using the Wufoo integration, it's so seamless that the best way to do it is to make sure the spelling is exactly the same. That will make sure that all of the data is going in correctly for everybody. So you saw as Dan was typing in birthday card, for example, you would want to type that in the exact same way in Wufoo.
If you were going to use that.
If you're going to use that tag.
Tags, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, if it's misspelled or capitalized, it will not come through. So awesome, thank you very much. All right, so let's take a look at companies now. So companies have a couple of extra things that we can customize. And let's take a look at Activision Blizzard. So once again, we have tags and custom fields down on the bottom right. But we also have industry, which can be completely customized by you, and company type. So let's take a look behind the scenes and see how we can set these up. So first, tags works very much the same way as it does in people, so I'm not going to cover that again. I will mention, though, that it is important to have tags, different tags with different names for people, leads, and companies, as it can get somewhat confusing if you had, for example, top 10 list for both company and person, and you're doing a filter or search. It can be a little bit more painful if you're using the same tag in each entity type. So I mentioned there's a company types. So that's over here under organization and company types. So we can add as many different company types as you would like. Let's say you have a reseller, and we can hit add, and you can change the order as well. So now that'll start to show up in that drop-down box. I also mentioned there were industries, and that can be a customized list, just like company types as well. And just like anything else in a nutshell, you can filter and search and report based on these names. So the other thing I wanted to mention was custom fields. And back here in system as well, you can customize custom fields. This time, let's add decision custom field, and we're going to do county. It's important to us to know which county this organization is in. So I name the field county, and then I'm going to add a few choices. This is really helpful, using a decision custom field versus a text custom field. If you want to make it quick and painless for your sales team to enter this and capture this information, and then capture it in a consistent way that's spelled correctly and so forth. So we have Hennepin County, Ramsey County, new custom field. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. So back in companies, here we're going to use Activision again, and scroll down to fields, and here we can choose Hennepin or Ramsey. Awesome. So the last entity type we're going to cover today is customizing leads. And there are a lot of different kinds of fields and ways to customize leads. And one way that we customized leads in the past was the sales process. And today, though, we're going to focus on customizing leads using custom fields, again, tags, and as well you can use products, competitors, and sources. And all of these are completely customizable by you to exactly match your data needs. So let's take a look at setup and tags. Tags for leads works the same way as all the other ones. And sources. Sources is also kind of a tag list, but is used for where the lead came from. And on any given lead, you can have multiple sources. Some great options for sources might be a particular conference that you were at or trade show, and that way you can send specific follow-up on that conference to those participants. I also mentioned you can customize products, and there's two different types of products that you can add. There's a good, which is a one-time item. You can use a SKU and enter a price or not. And there's also services. Services are by the hour, minute, day, week, month, quarter. So we'll call this a protection plan service, which is $10 a month. And then we're going to go back over in just a moment and see how to use these within the leads. There's also competitors. Competitors are really handy if you want to be able to run reports about how you are doing when you're competing against your competitors in terms of your win rate. You can also trigger a more complex lead distribution strategy based on what is in this field. So to add another competitor, just hit add and you type in the name of your competitor.
Hey, Dan, to go back quickly, another great way to use products, if your team doesn't necessarily have a fixed price on a product or service, but there could be a range of, one way we see a lot of companies using that is to set up like a different pricing range based on the confidence level of the lead. So they could say, okay, this is a high confidence level, large customer. These tend to be in the $5,000 to $10,000 range for revenue. And that's a good way to kind of get a ballpark figure for tracking products within lead price as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's what makes a lead and that's what enables the pipeline tracking, is adding products to a lead with prices. That's a really great point. Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at leads now and see how all those fields can come together to play. And as Whitney was just mentioning, this estimated value is derived from adding up all the value of the products together. And when you add a product to a lead, you can also specify the price if you need to. So let's say someone's going to buy not the Sabre jet print because that's already on there, but instead the, let's see, is this on here? Econo Light paper also is. How about the Dunder Smart cardstock? So we can change the price here as well and hit save, and you'll see that that will automatically update the estimated value and will impact your pipeline reports. So here's a couple of those custom fields that we talked about: indicated size, contract end date. Maybe your client is in a previous contract, and then we also have competitors. You can add multiple competitors if that is in that unfortunate situation where you have to deal with multiple competitors, and also multiple sources. One thing I do want to mention is there's two different places that you can place custom fields in a lead. Front and center at the top, as we saw, and I'll show you how to do that, or you can have them go down to the side. So within System, Custom Fields, Lead Custom Fields, we can see that indicated size and contract end date are in the center. You can have up to 3, and then you also can have fields in the sidebar. Fields not normally visible is for importing data that you don't necessarily want to have, you want to track, but don't want to have cluttering the lead view. Any questions on that, Whitney?
Yeah, we had one quick question about how if you can use the Contact Me button on a Wufoo form and then use a custom field or tag within that form to route that new lead to the top of the sales team list.
So you want to use a hidden field within Wufoo to route that lead to a particular person or team within Nutshell?
Yes.
I believe you can do that, and I would say that that'd be a great item to work with, maybe with support, to help them customize that for you. With only a minute left remaining today, we can't do that live, but I believe you can do that using the lead distribution functionality within Nutshell that looks at any of a bunch of different criteria in a particular lead to get those leads to the right person.
Yep.
Did I answer that right?
You did. Yeah, that sounds good. You can do that a couple different ways, and we can go over that if you want to do that with your customers through support.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So the last thing I wanted to mention before we wrap is that it's super, super easy to also add leads, companies, and people within Nutshell if you don't want to use the web form. And that's using the plus button, which shows up at the top center of every single page. And so you can hit plus, company, enter the name of a company, and in the event that one already exists in your database, be aware, watch the right side. It might mention that, well, this company already exists or already matches. Don't enter a duplicate. I love that feature of Nutshell. And there also are keyboard shortcuts. So CC is the keyboard shortcut to create a new company, and CP is the keyboard shortcut to create a new person. All right, that's what we have for you today, folks. Hand it back to Whitney to wrap up.
All right, thanks so much, Dan, for taking everybody through that. We are wrapping up here at exactly 1:30. So if anyone has any additional questions, you can navigate to either the question mark in your Nutshell instance, which can contact sales directly, or call our support line between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern. And our next Hangout, we're really excited about this one. It's going to be a double feature. Dan will be in Ann Arbor with us on February 26th, and we are going to do a deeper dive into sales process. So join us for that.
All right, can't wait. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, everyone.